Good evening, everyone. This is Jeffrey Harris. We are back on the Hollywood Purgatory next week. And while January might be a dead zone in terms of movies, there's plenty of news to be had, and we're going to be unpacking all of that tonight. I'm Jeffrey Harris from 411 Mania. On the other end of the line, we have Jay Snook of the Good Men Project. Hi, Jay.
Hello there. How's it going?
Hello there. How is it going? All right. So I guess we'll just dive right in.
Mm-hmm.
We got UFC fights in the background, so we got some UFC fights going on too tonight.
Nice.
But all right, so here is the deal. 20th Century Fox still has the rights to the X-Men film franchise. They were making a New Mutants movie that was supposed to come out about 3 months from now in April.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
New Mutants has been moved from its original release date of April 13th, just about 3 months, and now it's coming out February 22nd, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about that's over 10 months.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, 10 months. So like almost a year. Let's see. And that wasn't the only Fox X-Men related piece of news that came out last week.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, Deadpool 2, the highly anticipated sequel to Deadpool, that film has been moved. Deadpool, except that film, instead of getting delayed, got moved up.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to get released June 1st. Now it's coming out May 18th.
Mm-hmm.
Just 2 weeks. 2 weeks after a little movie called Avengers Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that. And then that's not even the last thing to happen with Fox and X-Men. We have Gambit. They've been talking about this Gambit movie at Fox for at least 2 years. They want Channing Tatum to play Gambit.
Mm-hmm.
The latest director on board was Gore Verbinski.
Mm-hmm.
Heard was Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, wait. Okay. All right, yeah. So Gore Verbinski, the director of Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, Gore Verbinski's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Channing Tatum is still on board.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, they had Doug Liman on there. He's gone. Now Gore Verbinski is gone. Tatum is still on board.
Mm-hmm.
That film also won't be coming out next year. They want to release Gambit on June 7th, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows at this point? All right. So now that we've gotten all that out of the way, first things first. Jay, what do you make of this news about New Mutants getting pushed back over 10 months to release in February of next year, when it was supposed to come out 3 months from now?
I think it's a good idea to push it back because that's it was going to be, well, April didn't have any competition, but I think it's going to be one of their lesser known properties. So maybe it's a good idea to push it back and make sure to fine tune it if they have time, which it sounds like they do. So I think it was a good choice for them to do that because even though Legion has done really well and Gifted is supposed to be doing really well, it's a new property. And new properties can always be risky. So I think the New Mutant thing wasn't a bad choice in my opinion. Little shocking, but not an insane choice.
You don't think there's anything more to this?
I don't know. I mean, just like that's how I perceived it to me. I'm like, they push it back. It's like, hey, this is a lesser known property, and maybe they want to fine tune it. That's what I would guess. Being it pushed
fine tune it how?
Oh, I don't know, because we still don't know much about it. To be honest, they pushed it out in April without us knowing much about it. I would think there would be more of a chance of it failing, or if we know a bit more about the characters, which at least I don't know much about them. I don't know much about the New Mutants.
Okay, but what is 10 months? How is 10 months gonna fix that?
Maybe we give them a chance to market it more.
I mean, they already started marketing it. I mean, they started
making
materials and trailers.
Maisie Sellers from Game of Thrones is on this.
Her name is Macy Williams.
Sorry, Williams. Fine. Maisie Williams is
right.
The only thing I know. Like, she's like the only known I know in this movie. I think everybody else is unknowns, right?
Yeah, but I mean, how many people did you know in the cast of It before you saw that film?
Right, that's fair enough. But I don't know. I just think like you give them a chance to market it more because they haven't really marketed it much.
I think
We know it's some kind of New Mutants. They're in some kind of asylum or something like that, right? Or facility or something like that.
right.
But at least I don't know much about the actual film itself.
I mean, which came out last September. I think the only person I really knew in the main cast was Finn Wolfhard, but that's because he was on Stranger Things.
But they marketed that movie very well, though.
I mean, if the movie came out in 3 months, the marketing push probably wouldn't have happened until like the last couple months.
I don't know. It's always hard to tell with these things.
Okay, but I mean, I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Because there have been rumors. Let's see if 20th Century Fox said anything in Hollywood Reporter. Okay, here's from Hollywood Reporter on New Mutants. Insiders say one reason for the change is for the studio to avoid having an overlap with X-Men movies in certain overseas marketplaces where New Mutants and Deadpool 2 would have been in theaters at the same time. That makes no sense to me.
Not really, no. That doesn't make any sense. That's a weird...
That sounds like a PR double-speak smokescreen answer. What do you think about that?
It's just a weird answer. I don't know about smokescreen, but it's just weird. You're like, wait, what? Because usually Deadpool doesn't show that many mutants anyway. And if they do, this time it's going to be Cable, and we know Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and maybe Colossus, but that's it.
Colossus, right.
That's it, though.
No, Domino's, we know Domino's in it, too, now.
Oh, that's right. Fair enough. But still, that's a weird reason. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. I read that, and it just doesn't sound like a legitimate answer at all.
It's not. I agree.
Now I've seen some other rumors. Let me see. Okay, here we go. This is from the tracking board. This is a little more interesting.
Okay.
This is about like how the film was testing. Now, when we talk about testing, we're talking about like this is when studios will show rough or unfinished cuts of the movie to general audiences, and then they'll grade the film, and then the film will be tweaked or adjusted based off of that. So this was by Jeff Snyder at the tracking board on New Mutants. Word on the street is that after the film tested well but not great, the studio decided to embrace the film's horror elements and beef up the scares in the wake of the success of It and Get Out. Now, the way they presented New Mutants so far in marketing is that it's like a film about mutants with superpowers, but it has like those horror film tropes and elements. So what do you make of that answer, or I guess that reasoning, Jay?
It makes a bit more sense, at least. So like that means they want to do like reshoots or something, right? Is that what that sounds like?
I guess they want to it implies that they're going to do reshoots over the next 10 months to make it more horror movie-like, I guess, to add in more of the horror elements, even though the way they were presenting it in the trailers it already kind of looked like that, you know? It's
sort of, but remember, like with Legion, that show has a lot of horror elements to it and a lot of mind-warping elements, and it works very well. So
yeah, but they didn't delay Legion 10 months, though, and that's a TV show.
True. But I'm just saying, like, if they want to reshoot it and revamp it a bit, that's a good idea to push it back for 10 months. That at least makes sense to me.
I just don't know why you push a movie back 10 months when you have a release date and it's 3 months out. For them to push it back this close to release basically means the movie is close to being done if it's not already done. I mean, I saw a finished cut of Kingsman 2 months before it came out in theaters, so I knew that. To me, that means the movie is like right there at the finish line, and then they push it. To me, that's a bad sign. I could be wrong, but to to me, it seems like the executives at Fox are just worried about the film or worried about how it will be received by audiences. Those fears may not be justified because, I mean, how often do we see like movies or concepts that are really good that are hurt by studio interference? You know what I mean?
True. But it also could take a while to add in the, if they want to do more special effects, it could take 10 months to do that, right? Like computer effects or something like that. Couldn't that take 10 months to do that?
I mean, conceivably it could, but we don't know the scope or extent of what they would change. I don't believe for a second this has anything to do with really international overlap with Deadpool 2.
That's a weird reason. I agree.
I think we're both in agreement that there's nothing that can't be the case. That can't be why they moved it 10 months.
I agree.
We'll see what happens there. Okay, so Deadpool 2 is now coming out in May. A bit of a weird move, I think.
I beg to differ with how successful the first one was. Push the other one out sooner because it will be a success. It's already getting insane buzz. Like I don't think I've heard anything bad about it yet, buzz-wise. And it just looks like it's going to be the first one, but just better, and that's a good thing, right? So I think it wasn't crazy. When I heard this news, I was like, that makes sense because they know it's going to make money, and it probably will.
Yeah, but I mean, Deadpool 2 made huge money in February. I mean, you've had some successful movies in February, but never as big as Deadpool, especially for an R-rated comic book movie.
True.
Coming out in February.
True.
My thought was, no matter where you put Deadpool 2, it's pretty much guaranteed to be a hit.
And maybe it has less. Maybe it has less competition in May than it would in June. Maybe.
So here, let's see. No, it's going to have more competition now because this puts the movie 2 weeks after Avengers: Infinity War. It's against the same day as Sony's Slender Man, and now it comes out. It's a 1-4 solo with Star Wars movies. So yeah, I don't understand this move at all. Now let me see what else is in June. So here's what we're looking at in May. So May we have May 4th, May 11th, Breaking In, Life of the Party, May 18th, Deadpool 2 and Slender Man, May 25th, A Star Wars Story. There was nothing on June 1st. It would have been a week after Star Wars, yes, but there was nothing. Now there's nothing on that date. A week later is the Ocean's 8. That's the spinoff of Ocean's 11 with the all-female main cast. And then June 15th, you had Incredibles 2. So really, I got to be honest. I mean, at least on June 1st, it had that date to itself, right? Now it's coming out in between Avengers 2 and Star Wars. I don't really like that, but maybe
they wanted to come out before Solo than after Solo. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe that was the reasoning, and I can kind of understand that. Maybe they were worried the film was going to get just engulfed by Star Wars.
And it'll keep that Marvel momentum going too, because they've got Infinity War and they've got Deadpool 2, so the momentum's going closer together.
But I think even if it came after Star Wars, the movie still would have done well because I mean, Star Wars has. Let's be honest. Star Wars has a lot of uncertainty on it right now with Han Solo. Not that the movie's going to bomb, but like, you know, it's had all that controversy, right? With Deadpool 2, you have a bit more faith in it, don't you, Jay?
True.
So, and then 2 weeks after Avengers, like Avengers will already be losing steam at that point. I don't know. It's just a bit. It's a bit weird to me. I don't really get it.
It made sense to me because they wanted to.
Why does that make sense?
Because not only they know it's going to be a hit, but it'll garner more money if it comes out earlier in the summer than later in the summer anyway, right? Even if it's only 2-3 weeks.
Not necessarily. There's no. I don't get that logic at all. I mean, okay, so let me see what else. April. No, that's 2019. In 2018, what was coming out in April? Truth or Dare.
No, that looks stupid. Look.
Clover, the new Cloverfield, Super True. I think I don't know. Just the way I'm looking at April, New Mutants was probably better off coming out in April of this year, away from all the really big heavy hitters. It would have been out the gate sooner. But we still don't. There's still a lot we don't know about New Mutants anyway.
True.
Deadpool. I don't like Deadpool 2 at this date, but I think it doesn't really matter. People are going to see Deadpool. It's going to do well. Avengers will pretty much have the first 2 weekends. It's going to have May 4th. It'll have May 11th. By that point, Avengers 3 will have made most of its money. Deadpool 2 pretty much just has that weekend until Star Wars comes out. Unless Solo is going to, unless people are just so upset about The Last Jedi, they don't see Solo. But I don't really see that happening because it's Star Wars.
Well, it's Ron Howard directing it, though. So Ron Howard, I don't think he's ever directed a Star Wars film before that, so we'll see. I mean, I like him as a director. I like him as a director. I have no problem with him as a director. It's just Star Wars.
The problem with Ron Howard is, look at it. What's his track record lately? Did you like Inferno?
No, it's okay. But not
Did you like In the Heart of the Sea?
Didn't see that one.
I think the last good movie he made was Rush. I thought Rush was a good movie, but no one saw it. Rush
I like The Grinch a lot. The Grinch was really good with Jim Carrey.
The Grinch came out like 20 years ago.
It wasn't 20 years ago. It was early 2000s, but still.
It was 2000. So almost 18 years. We're talking just over 7. We're talking 17 years.
But not 20. Aha.
Yeah, 3 years short of 2 decades there. Okay. No, he's made good movies. I mean, I love Apollo 13. Great movie, right?
That was good, yeah.
I like Cinderella. I like Cinderella Man. I'm just talking about. Look at his recent track record of films. What really sticks out from his recent filmography that you think is a genuinely great movie?
I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
Okay. So that's kind of what worries me about Solo: A Star Wars Story. But we're kind of going on a tangent there. The Gambit news. Do you think Gambit happens? Is Gambit ever going to happen?
There's 2 weird things. I really have 2 opinions with Gambit. One, because I think they've actually talked about this movie since, I want to say, the first Wolverine movie. They've been thinking about this one for a minute. It's not a brand new thing.
They introduced Gambit in that movie basically to hopefully spin him off in other movies, and that was in 2009. And
that was around the time that they wanted to also do they wanted to do origin movies for all of them originally.
Yeah, and
Cyclops for
they announced Deadpool right after the Wolverine Origins film, and that was in 2009. It took until 2016 to get Deadpool.
And they wanted to do Magneto and all that stuff at one time. And it never happened because they realized Wolverine makes so much. Why risk doing others, right? And this kind of reminds me of Deadpool in the sense that Ryan Reynolds waited, 10, 11 years to do Deadpool? I think he was attached the whole time. Am I wrong with that?
I mean, he was in the Wolverine movie, and he was attached to Deadpool ever since then.
So that was about a similar...
Almost 10 years.
Yeah, right.
Almost 10 years.
So on one hand, it's a little weird. This is because I've seen a number of films lately where they've waited a long time to do them, or they've been shelved for a long time, or they've been a long time in production. It doesn't always equal a good movie. Sometimes it could be a very bad movie, but at the same time, even with Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3, they waited 10 years to do that movie. Between 2 and 3, there was a big gap there, right? But in that 10-year period, though, it became probably one of the best movie of the series so far.
Yeah, right? But with Toy Story 3 is a little more complicated. Remember, Disney tried to make Toy Story 3.
Video. I remember that.
No. That was Toy Story 2. Disney was, first things first, Disney had started development on Toy Story 3 at Walt Disney Animation, and then because Pixar was going to leave Disney and split from Disney, under their current deal, and then Disney acquired Pixar, and then so after that happened, Pixar restarted Toy Story 3 under the Pixar banner.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of why, because it kind of had a start and stop, and then they restarted it with Pixar.
But the reason I brought that example up is because it took a long time to make that movie, but it was a really good movie.
Right.
So taking a long time to make a movie isn't always a bad thing.
Right, but I mean, sometimes there are circumstances and reasons for that to happen.
True. So I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, I want them to just make it already, but on another hand, I don't want them to screw it up.
All right. Here's another question: Do you think Channing Tatum as Gambit is a movie they should make?
I don't think so, because the guy who was Gambit in Wolverine was
Taylor Kitsch.
Yeah,
Taylor Kitsch.
I would say maybe it'd be better because Channing Tatum is so well known for so many other characters now.
Yeah,
I don't know if it'd be a choice that I would make.
He's a bigger star though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, there was a time when like that'd be a great idea. I don't know if that time is around anymore. I don't know. Yeah.
Do you think any of this is trouble? Because I mean, look, Disney has acquired 20th Century Fox.
Mm-hmm.
We have to wait a year for regulatory approval for for the switchover, and that kind of happens in like early 2019. So for right now, 20th Century Fox has to still continue doing business and still like produce movies because look, who knows? The Disney deal could get killed, but what happens to these films after they get approval of 20th Century Fox and Disney owns 20th Century Fox and they get the rights back to X-Men and everything else? What's going to happen to movies like this? I mean, do you have anything else besides? I mean, come on, Jay. Do you think? I mean, what do you think should happen at least?
I would think, just personally, if they do it, if they greenlight it, it must be better to use someone lesser known, maybe, for the role of Gambit at this point.
Why a lesser known role would help that movie?
Well, at the
a lesser known actor. I'm sorry.
Well, at the time when Taylor Kirsch was Kish was Gambit, he wasn't so hugely known at the time, was he?
Well, he was known for Friday Night Lights.
But that was it, right?
Well, I mean, I think he had started doing some stuff, but yeah, pretty much Friday Night Lights.
And I don't remember anything bad about that portrayal of Gambit. Do you?
I don't think it was especially great, but I mean, I don't think it sounds like you want Taylor Kitsch to come back as Gambit. Is what it sounds like.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I just don't know if Channing Tatum is the right fit for Gambit anymore. It's really where I'm at.
Okay. Why do you think he's not the right fit, though?
I just like if they had done this film sooner with him I don't know. It's just I have a hard time envisioning him as Gambit just because of how Gambit is now. Gambit was on the 90s cartoon. That's the Gambit I think of,
Right.
That's the Gambit I think of. I don't see Channing Tatum becoming that Gambit. I could be wrong. Maybe he could. But Gambit kind of had like a Russian accent or something, didn't he?
No, he's Cajun.
But he had an accent, right?
Yeah, a Cajun accent, like a French.
I don't know if I could see Channing Tatum pull off that accent and make it like believable. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. Where is he from? He's from Alabama, so.
Like I said, I could be wrong. It's a possibility.
Maybe he could do. I don't know. Maybe he could pull off a Cajun twang. I don't.
And isn't he too like buff for Gambit now? Because Gambit's not like weak. He's got muscle, but he doesn't have that much muscle, right?
I think of Gambit. He's kind of like he's not stocky. He's like he is very fit, but he's like tall and wiry, but he's like he's kind of like a Cirque du Soleil acrobat kind of. But I mean, it really depends on artistic interpretation.
True.
I don't know. I think he kind of has the frame for it. I don't know if he would do a great job with it.
Yeah, I don't either. That's why.
But I mean,
but I could be wrong. To be honest, I could be wrong.
If Channing Tatum is Gambit, that kind of gives a little rocket fuel to the project. Here's my thing. I don't think they should make Gambit at all. I would say wait until this deal plays out because here's my feeling. No matter what happens with Deadpool 2, New Mutants, Gambit, X-Men Dark Phoenix, if everything is going to Disney, Kevin Feige's going to want to come in and he's going to want to put his own stamp on the franchise, and he's going to want to bring the X-Men into the MCU. And it makes, I mean, and there's no guarantee all the actors we have for all these movies are going to stick around, because the new X-Men movie that comes out later this year, X-Men Dark Phoenix, that movie's set in 1992. Do you see the problem there? What year are we in now, Jay?
We're in 2018.
How many years ago was 2018? Excuse me, 1992 from 2018.
26.
26 years. So do you see the issue there?
Yeah.
So we have all the main actors in the X-Men movie. They're playing they're adults in 1992 right now.
Okay.
And what's the dilemma there?
That I'm not sure. Explain it to me.
Well, look, I mean, they were teenagers in 1983. So you had all those cast members in X-Men Apocalypse. They're teenagers in 1983. They're doing a time skip in X-Men Dark Phoenix, almost 10 years. So now it's 1992. So now they're like all in their 20s. So what do you really think Kevin Feige is going to want to continue that when he comes in?
No.
He's going to want to do like what he did with Homecoming, don't you think?
But I don't think that's just. I just think that after Dark Phoenix, it needs to be revamped again anyway, regardless how good or bad it does. It's just the reality.
Right, but then, what do you do with New Mutants in there? How is New Mutants going to figure into that?
I don't know. Hard to say. But we still know so little about New Mutants. That's the problem. We really don't know. Is it even that well known of a comic, or is it like I don't know. It's just.
I mean, among comic circles, sure, yeah.
Okay, I just don't know.
I don't think it's not. To me, I always just saw it as sort of an offshoot or a spinoff of the main X-Men. You know.
Okay.
I mean, I was never a big fan of New Mutants. I was always more of an X-Men fan. Let's see.
I'm not that excited for New Mutants.
Like the comics came out in 1983. You know, it was just sort of like a group of New Mutant superheroes, kind of similar to the X-Men. I mean...
Wait, New Mutants are supposed to be heroes?
Yeah, they were another... Yeah.
That trailer looked like it had a Legion feel to it, not a hero feel to it.
It had not a Legion feel, it had a horror movie feel.
I mean, they were all in like a clinic or something, right?
They're in like an institution or in like some sort of like
or like a hidden facility or something like that where they're all being.
It looked like an insane asylum is what it looked like. I don't know what.
I don't know.
I don't know what's going to happen with that movie. It just seems like bad news that the film's been pushed back. All right.
Well, we'll see. Could be.
I didn't really have high hopes. Here's my problem. From what I know of the New Mutants comics, it never came off like the way that movie does. There were some weird elements and sometimes some weird supernatural elements in New Mutants, but never like the way the movie just looks like your typical 1980s horror movie with some superpowered mutant teenagers. But all right, so moving on from that. So a lot of weirdness going on at Fox with the X-Men franchise. All right, so HBO announced some Game of Thrones stuff. So we won't be getting any Game of Thrones this year. Jay, how do you feel about that?
We already knew that, didn't we? Didn't they say it was going to take 2019 because of winter?
Yes, but now they've confirmed it. They didn't confirm it until recently. Okay. Game of Thrones. Here's straight from HBO. Game of Thrones will return in 2019. The epic fantasy Game of Thrones will return for its 6 episodes. So now we know that the 8th and final season will only be 6 episodes. And here's what else. David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, who are the creators of the TV version. David Nutter and Miguel, I'm sorry if I mispronounce this, Miguel Sapochnik, Sapochnik, will be the directors for the new season. Writers for the new season are Benioff and D.B. Weiss, Brian Cogman and Dave Hill. All right, so 6 episodes for season 8. That'll be the last season, and not until 2019. Are you okay with that?
I don't mind until 2019. Again, this news isn't really, even though they're confirming it now, I kind of have known this is going to happen for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, they said it was going to be about 2 years, I think, originally.
The only thing I don't like about the 6 episodes, they're going to probably be an hour and a half each, just watch. Because even the last season, a lot of the episodes are pretty dang close to that. Especially, I think that finale was.
You don't want longer episodes?
I don't mind longer episodes. It's just sometimes when it's an hour and a half, or like, say, like, you know, something like that, it's a little harder to get through because, you know, life stuff going on and all that for me. So that's my only real problem there. I'm like, it's kind of like
less episodes, but longer episodes, I guess, is the trade-off.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe they won't be an hour and a half. Maybe they'll just be an hour. I don't know. But you know, so that's because it's like when I watch a show in general, it's easier if a show is like 20 minutes than 40 minutes, and it's easier if it's 40 minutes than an hour and a half. You know, it's easier to watch.
With all the stakes and everything, do you think every episode's going to be like a Battle of the Bastards level episode? You think?
It'll have to be. With how the last season ended, yeah, it's going to have to be epic every episode.
Like every episode will like I don't know, maybe a major set of characters dies every episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone who hasn't been killed yet.
Most of them will be, yeah, especially because of that ice dragon. That ice dragon's going to cause all kind of havoc. We just know that.
I mean, that is a pretty gnarly ice dragon, but
so there'll be a lot of death, that's for sure.
But yeah, so Game of Thrones fans, buckle up for a much longer wait for next season. Okay, so moving on. We had some stuff for Fahrenheit 451 on HBO. This is pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is, because Michael B. Jordan's going to be in it, I think, is one of the characters, and it's going to be a series, not a movie, which is interesting.
No, this is going to be a film version.
I thought it was going to be a series.
Film.
Really? I could have sworn they said it was a series in the trailer. There's a short teaser they released.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
And I think it's a series, which is interesting.
No, it's a TV movie.
Okay. So regardless, it's interesting because I don't think they've done something like this. They did a movie of this before, but it had to have been a good while ago. And it's just on its own, it's an interesting story because basically it's alternate future where firemen have become basically book burners, right? That's basically
right. Books are basically outlawed. It's a dystopic, oppressive future.
Yeah, and Michael B. Jordan he's a pretty good actor in this. I'm looking forward to seeing him in this. And I think it's just doing this HBO doing it, no less.
Have you ever read the novella?
I have. It's been a while since I've read it, but I remember it. I remember the book. It's a good book.
It's a classic book. The last movie came out in 1966.
Oh, so it's been a hot minute.
So it's been that's over 50 years.
Yeah, and I think that HBO is a good place for it because it is such a dark story, you know. So I think they're a good place for it.
So look, here's the cast here. We have Michael Shannon from Man of Steel and Shape of Water, Sophia Boutella from Star Trek Beyond, The Mummy, and Kingsman.
Yeah.
Laura Harrier. It's got a pretty good cast, and of course, Michael B. Jordan in the lead is Guy Montag. He's a very good actor. So yeah.
So I'm excited for this. When I heard this, I'm like, nice. And like I said, HBO doing it. I'm like, HBO's a good, because like HBO has proven they're really good with darker stories. They're really good with violence. They're really good with things like that. So they've proven they're good at that. And this story is very big on violence and dark and all that stuff. So.
The teaser we got, it was really just a teaser. It didn't really show any footage, but
it didn't really. But it gives you a basic idea what it is.
Look, I got to be honest. Fahrenheit 51 is a hard. To me, it's a hard book to screw up because it's a very good book, but I think it's also I think it's easy to adapt because it's really not that. It's not that long. It's not a really long book, and I think I think the themes are universal, so I think you can do a lot with that material with little.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think you don't need to make a $200 million like movie out of this. Like, I think you can make like an HBO TV movie out of this and it can still come off really well.
Yeah, I'm just bummed. All it says is this year. It doesn't say when this year, right? It just so it could be like in November for all.
It could be a while until we.
And I definitely want to see more because like I'm excited when I heard this, but I'm like I want to see like how are they going to modernize it or just keep it the way it was or like.
I imagine it'll still be set in the future, but I imagine it'll play off of like what's going on in the world today, and that's how they'll kind of mess with it, you know?
Yeah, because to my knowledge, the first version didn't have. It sounds like he's playing with the main character, right? Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
And they haven't done that before, so that'll be interesting to just see them do
Done
that.
what before?
It's not a bad call to have a black guy as the main role.
Right. Well, the original book, I think was written it came out in the 50s, you know?
True.
So
I just mean like to my knowledge, yeah. So it'll be.
I don't remember in the book. Do they even really say like what? As I recall in the book, the lead guy, Guy Montag, I don't recall they really say much about.
They may not have, to be fair.
I don't think they really define like the color of his skin or anything.
Yeah, maybe they didn't. That's a possibility.
I'd have to go back and reread it, but I don't recall like them saying if he's black or white. But I think
they probably didn't. They just probably assumed from the first movie that he was because that's how things were then.
But here's my thing: like you read a book like that in the 50s, and like you probably, I don't want to say that I'm not trying to be offensive here, but like you probably, if you're a white person reading the book, you probably don't think of that character as a black actor, right? That's probably what you're saying, right?
Yeah, that's what it is.
But here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's wrong they cast Michael B. I think Michael B. Jordan is a great actor, and I think it's good casting.
Yeah, it is.
Because as I said, I don't specifically remember reading the book. They really ever actually say if Guy Montag is either black or white or whatever.
They probably didn't. To be fair, they probably didn't.
But I mean, I don't know how Ray Bradbury, when he wrote the book in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he visualized that much on it, but I am very excited that, HBO, as the saying goes, Jay, it's not TV. It's not TV. It's, help me out here, Jay. I'm trying to feed it to you. It's not TV.
It's HBO.
Thank you. Okay. Why did that take 20 minutes for you to do?
Hey, it's been a long day.
It's been
I'm a little sick too, so it's not helping.
All right. Well, when I'm trying to give you a hint. When I'm trying to feed you something, I need you to like, give it back to me because I'm trying to give you a hint.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm trying to give you a little hint here. Okay,
fair enough.
I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to this. So we've got an HBO version of Fahrenheit 451. It will be a TV movie, not a TV series or miniseries. Honestly, though, I think you could do Fahrenheit 451 as a miniseries or something.
It'd be interesting.
Because that's kind of like what you're doing these days with all these, with all this IP. But
I'm actually I like a little bit better that they're going to do a movie though. Because doing a series, they could do it, but I think a movie might be.
I mean, the book is short, and I think it's probably easier to do it as a one-off movie.
Yeah.
But I think if you wanted to open up the world of the book and explore it a little more, you could probably take the premise, you could probably take and just explore more of that setting. But you'd probably be making up a lot more than what was written in the book too.
True.
All right, so here's some other bit of news. So John Wick is getting a TV a TV spinoff for John Wick that's being called The Continental. For those of you who remember, The Continental is sort of like that criminal underworld network in the films, run by what is his name? Michael Shane? Or no?
I thought it was Ian McShane.
Ian McShane, right.
And isn't the Continental the hotel they stay at usually?
Yeah, but like there's more than one.
Of course.
Like they have them like all over the world. So it's like.
Sure. They announced, which is kind of interesting too, that Keanu Reeves is going to guest, which is kind of
Let's see. So Stars is developing, this is from the Wrap, Stars is developing the Continental, a TV spinoff of John Wick, focused on the hotel that serves as a safe house for assassins. John Wick star Keanu Reeves is expected to appear. So I guess that means
cool.
It'll be set in the same universe as the films, and Keanu Reeves will appear as John Wick. What about John Wick 3? What's going on with that?
That's still happening as far as I know.
Is it happening?
Yeah, I've heard it was announced. They're doing it, which isn't a shock. With how the first one was good, the second one was better. Of course, we're going to do a third one. So John Wick 3 is happening, yes.
Okay, John Wick 3 is coming out in 2019, so we still have a while for that.
You know what this news makes me wonder, and it just came to my head? Whatever happened to Mega City 1? Did you hear about that?
Well, yes, the Judge Dredd TV.
Whatever happened to that, I wonder?
I mean, as far as I know, they're still doing it, Jay. It's just, they got to make it.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's just what, when I heard this news, I was like, whatever happened to that show, I wonder? Because this isn't a bad idea. Again, with how big John Wick is, and especially with the second one, how much more of the universe they showed, it wouldn't be a bad idea to show of it. And Stars, again, has shown they're pretty good with that stuff. I mean, I liked season 1 of Ash vs. Evil Dead better than season 2, but...
I mean, Star shows I liked, Da Vinci's Demons, Spartacus was one of my favorite shows, like, back when, premium TV shows started becoming really big. I loved Spartacus. So let's see, Mega City 1. I think they're still working on it. I think we're still we might be a couple years off from Mega City 1, Jay.
Really? I remember that news being a while ago.
It's so Mega City 1 is going to be on Netflix.
Okay.
So that was a few months ago.
Yeah.
I'm looking up news for Mega City 1. Carl Urban, apparently, I mean, he's open to it, I guess, if they have. So we might see Carl Urban as Judge Dredd again in this show. I'm not sure. I think the issue is we're still going to be a way off from Mega City 1. So
doing the Continental, it's not a bad idea, and Keanu showing up is a good idea because he's so big in it now anyway. And I'm guessing we'll probably see a lot of that concierge.
What is
right? Or the manager?
What is Lance Reddick, right?
Yeah.
And well, if they get Ian McShane in the show, I think that'd be great.
Which they probably would have him.
What is it going to be? What is it going to be about, though?
Yeah, I guess just more of the world of the assassins that John Wick is a part of, right? Because we saw in John Wick Chapter 2.
There's like a whole. It's like a worldwide network of assassins.
Yeah. So and we saw a little bit where they used the really old. It wasn't a phone company, it was something like that to do their calls and old cell phones to get out the hits. So they use technology that most people wouldn't use anymore to kind of cover their tracks, right?
Right. It was.
And we got to see where the coins played more than you would think. He went to a random place, said, "Hey, I want to do this," and they took him to the back, and he got bullet resistant suits, or ones that fought bullets better. He got to go to the one guy who he actually went to the one bank.
The wine dealer
for all the guns.
The wine dealer gave him all the guns. The tailors gave him all that.
And then there was the bank, right, or something like that, right?
Right. Correct.
So if they did a show, you get to see more of that universe, and it might set the stage for 3, where we're going to see more of the universe anyway. Because he's on the run, right?
Here's another tidbit. So the Star CEO in this article from the Wrap says. Chris Albrecht says the Continental promises to include the thunderous fight sequences and intensely staged shootouts between professional assassins and their targets that fans have come to expect in the John Wick movie franchise, as well as introducing some new darkly compelling characters who inhabit this underground world. So I guess more of the underground world from the John Wick series. So I guess with that in mind, there's a lot they can explore in the Continental.
Did they announce a date for this, or just that they're doing it?
Let's see. Just that they're doing it.
So
So
it's just like with Mega City 1, there's like, hey, we're doing it. We're not sure when yet, but we are doing it, just so you know.
yeah, so that means
So for
when
all
they
we
say
know,
they're
this is
doing
no.
it, it might not be out until after John Wick 3, for
Yeah,
all
that's what I
we
was
know.
gonna say. So that's probably like it's just like yeah, because it's interesting.
John Wick 3 will be out next year.
Mm-hmm. If it does well, there'll be a John Wick 4. So
Maybe.
it wouldn't shock me.
Unless they kill John Wick. I mean, you never know.
They're not going to do that. That'd be a horrible idea.
Okay. All right.
It's one of the biggest things he does right now anyway. If they killed him, what's he going to do next?
All right. So, apparently, we don't know when the TV show will be set. I mean, for all we know, the TV show could be set before John Wick retired as an assassin.
That's a possibility. Yeah, you're right.
So, Ian McShane as Winston, he's not confirmed for the show, but I hope we see some of those other characters, like Peter Serafinowicz from the second movie. I want to see some of those characters come back.
Yeah, well, Ian is kind of busy with the second season of American Gods, which they are doing, so he's still busy with that show.
Right, he could do more if he's able.
I agree, he could do this, and he probably will. He'll have to show up a little bit because he's been such a important part
he's like,
of the Continental, right?
He's like this. I guess he's like the chairman of the Continental.
It seems like that, or something like that. Yeah, something like that. So
he seems to be. He's the owner of the Continental Hotel.
So
he's the owner of that whole network.
Yeah, he may not be announced yet, but he'll probably guest just like Keanu will.
Right, but I mean, I don't think you can't. I don't think you can make every episode about John Wick though. So you're gonna have to.
No. That's why he's only gonna guest. Yeah.
You're gonna have to introduce some other assassin characters, but
and maybe it'll even have to be like the main character will have to be some other assassins.
I want to see more of Lawrence Fishburne and his hobo network of assassins. Yeah. That was my favorite part of the second movie. Like
that was kind of cool. Yeah, I agree. That was a cool little surprise.
All the homeless people are assassins too. So don't cross homeless people.
Mm-hmm.
What city was that? New York or?
I don't know. I want to say yes, but I'm not sure.
Was it LA? So don't cross those.
Like Jersey though, so it might have been New York.
Don't cross the homeless people you see on the street. They might be assassins working for Lawrence Fishburne. Okay, yeah, so
definitely.
So watch yourself. All right. So all right. Next little thing. I want to talk a little bit about the last movie I saw, which was Paddington 2.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see a nice advanced screening of the film. It was at the London Hotel in Los Angeles. So I saw Paddington 2 in London. You dig? Ha, 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 ha. I think if you like Paddington, go see this movie. This movie, it's utterly charming. It's totally wholesome, good family entertainment. And that's not a knock on the movie. It's a delightful little movie. I really have no complaints about it. It's an adorable little film.
Does he talk at all in the movie?
Yeah, he talks just like he does in the first one, just like he does in the books and cartoons.
Who voices him again?
It's Ben Whishaw, that British actor.
Okay.
He's Q from the recent James Bond films.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. If you saw In the Heart of the Sea, he played Herman Melville in that movie too. He does lots of solid work. He's a
does it do the book's justice at all? Would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's. I mean, I think they are very much their own story, but I think it's very much in the spirit of what is the original author's name? I think his name is Michael Bond, who actually passed away recently. I think it's very much in the spirit of Bond's children's books.
Okay. Now Jim Broadbent is in it, right?
Yeah, he's the same character he was in the first movie. He's like this local antique shop owner. But I thought it was a very sweet movie. It's not great. The best part of the movie is Hugh Grant.
Really?
Hugh Grant plays the villain, and he's this really flamboyant, aging kind of struggling actor. And he sort of causes Paddington to get arrested for a crime he didn't commit, and Paddington has to go to jail and deal with that. And it's a very sweet, adorable film. And I liked it because you don't really see a lot of just really fun, wholesome family movies. And Paddington, he never He's never violent. He never raises his voice, but he will give you the hard stare. If you if you forget your manners, you will get a hard stare from Paddington. And I think we could always use a few more earnest fellows in the world, like a Paddington, who will give you the hard stare if you forget your manners. So
a good film to take the kids to see, but
take the
probably won't be for
kids.
everybody.
If you have a girlfriend, take your or significant other, take your date. See the Paddington movie. See it for, I'm sure you saw some Paddington when you were a kid and maybe looked at the books or the.
I remember the books a little bit. That's
yeah. So and I think it's perfect for the family, or just a little matinee thing. And yeah, thank you, Michael Bond, for creating this great character. Yeah, and there was a great little memorial for or an in memoriam for Michael Bond in the film. It was very touching, and I liked the experience because after the movie they had a little person dressed up as Paddington there, and he was taking photos with everyone. It was very sweet. I really like the movie. Is it a great movie? No, but I think considering we're in the Dead Zone month, it was a good movie. All right, so next thing, Polka King.
Yeah, so the Polka King is a movie.
Netflix
on
right
Netflix.
now.
It has Jack Black.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting movie because it's another, movie that tells a true story. It's actually an interesting true story. A lot of good music in there. Jack Black has a lot of fun playing this character. It's kind of interesting because, for starters, you see at the end the real guy, and of course he looks nothing like Jack Black, but that's just the way that happens. Besides the hair, but the guy's a lot thinner than Jack Black is. That's just what happened there. But it's definitely an interesting story because, and it's kind of weird too, because there's a part of the story where Jack Black's character is basically doing a Ponzi scheme. Right? He's saying, hey, like donate, like, or help, like, go to like this thing, and I'll give you 12% back, and it's illegal. And this guy comes in, JB Smoove, I think is his name, comes in and says, you can't do this. He goes, all right, I won't do it anymore. And he calls him like, you stopped, right? Yes, I stopped. When of course he didn't stop. So for like 6-7 years, the guy just believes, okay, Jack Black's not doing that anymore. Not only is Jack Black's character still doing it, but he's doing it on a much bigger scale. Who's making even more money than before. So it's crazy. So it's kind of weird in that respect. You kind of know at certain points things are just going to keep getting worse and worse because he keeps lying and lying and lying some more and getting greedier and greedier. And it's a little predictable at some points, but at the same time, it wasn't a bad story. Jack Black has done better stuff, but he's done worse stuff too. So it's kind of in the middle. It's a film that I enjoyed. It was an interesting story to learn. It seemed a little long at some parts to me, but overall, I enjoyed it. I was like, this is, a fun new Jack Black film.
So put it in the queue. Put it in the queue if you have Netflix or what?
Yeah, I would say if you like Jack Black, you'll like it. If you're not as much of a fan of him, maybe avoid it because it won't be for you. Like I said, he has fun in the role. You can tell that he enjoys doing it. And it definitely takes you on a strange little journey, but it's fun. I enjoyed it. I can't, like I said, it's not his best work, but if you're a fan of Jack Black, put it in your quay, you'll like it.
I will definitely give this movie a look. It looks interesting, and it's based on a documentary called "The Man Who Would Be Polka King," regarding Jan Lewin, the character Jack Black plays. And looking at the cast, it has a pretty good cast.
It does. I agree.
I mean, I didn't know JB Smoove is in the film, but I like Jenny Slate, Jason Schwartzman.
He's really good. Jason Schwartzman is really good in this.
Yeah, all good talents. So yeah, interesting. I will wanna check that out. Thank you. All right, so we are still in January, so we're still struggling to get out of the Dead Zone month, but we will be keeping an eye on things. This is Hollywood Purgatory, where the entertainment industry goes to get judged.
And remember, next week, Netflix having come out, Trolls: The Beat Goes On, which I've been able to watch. So we will be talking about that next week, which will be
Trolls.
Yep, they're doing a Trolls show on Netflix called Trolls: The Beat Goes On.
Oh, is this a continuation of that movie?
Well, they're just doing that. Next week it airs on Netflix. It premieres, so that's happening next week, which is interesting. I don't know if there's any big movies coming out. Off the top
All right. Well, we're still in Dead Zone month, pretty much, but Paddington is good.
And
I would recommend
I
it.
think next week there might be Den of Thieves and 12 Strong and something. So I got like 3 screens.
I am seeing 12 Strong.
Yeah, there's 12 Strong, Den of Thieves,
Look,
and something else next week. So we've got
we're
more
still
films next week than we
yeah, more films, but we're still slogging out of the Dead Zone month.
Yeah,
But
until Black Panther comes.
pretty much until Black Panther. So we're slogging to get out of Dead Zone month. But until then, we'll be keeping an eye on things over here. This is Hollywood Purgatory, where the entertainment industry goes to get judged. I'm Jeffrey Harris. You can check out my reviews on 411mania.com/movies. And Jay, where can people find you online?
On the Good Men Project and Arts and Entertainment section. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those. So you can find all my stuff on there, and Pinterest.
All right, everybody, hang loose and stay frosty. Thank you.